At least it's not Dota 2. Because Dota 2, I've seen hour-long pauses for games. And that is, that's simply unfortunate. So at the very least, at least StarCraft delays, usually, you know, maybe 10-15 minutes. You know, such as it is, but looks like game time. He is, it's not, I didn't get it on the little info sheet, but he's in Infinity Gaming. He's one of their pro team players. I think Infinity Gaming, it's actually a pretty long time.
Can you leave the lobby?
North American clan. Leave the lobby. That is atrocious.
Why
would I ever do
that?
As
you're told.
But yeah, game time, a GM Zerg from Michigan. He's part of the Infinity Gaming pro team. They're a North American team, I think previously more of just I guess a social clan, and I think they're branching out into trying to get a little bit more serious into you know, be it, you know, hopes of WCS America, you know, qualifiers and stuff like that, trying to get their feet wet, you know. And game time getting second place at the Gamers for Giving 2015. We keep struggling, don't we?
We try.
He's stuck at joining the lobby apparently. But I'll keep chatting. So the Gamers for Giving 2015. I'm kind of sad that I don't know if I was busy or I just I don't think I signed up in time. It's a LAN in I don't know if it's in Detroit proper, but it's in Michigan. And it is a charity LAN. I think there's a lot more than just StarCraft 2 there, but there's a lot of games there, be it competitive or otherwise, and it's to benefit a number of hospitals, I think children's hospitals or something of that sort. So that's pretty cool. He got second place there, though. I'm not sure who he went up against. There's a good chance it was probably Desero that got first, because Desero does go to a lot of Michigan tournaments. Being I think Toronto resident is Desero. Yeah, I don't know. It's real close. So yeah, game time already, you know, showing that competitive drive to play in some of those tournaments, getting what he can where he can, getting that itch scratched. And now I'm just making things sound dirty. Anyway, and then also his opponent, we've got Crilmon, another GM Zerg, this time from Illinois. And this is his first time competing in the Midwest Cup. The first time I've really ever seen this player, to be honest. I think he's he's definitely a top 100 GM player, but I'm not too sure otherwise. So we'll kind of see. It looks like game time took the first round on Vani. And Vani Research Station, I mean, it's a weird map because it's laid out in that if both players kind of get their natural set, you're in for a sort of standard-ish game, sort of okay, let's move on to the late game. But the really early game, especially in a ZVT, and if anyone was watching, I guess, Gfinity, was that yesterday or today, that Snoot, I think that was yesterday, Snoot ran into a couple 10-pull Banes on Vani Research Station, so there's a very good chance that's what could have happened in the previous game. And it looks like we've defeated the beast, we've got everybody in the lobby. I'm proud of you, Sam. Give me a high five.
It only took 3 tries out of making a lobby to get everybody in the game, and that is pro work right there.
Technology. This is the future, guys. But here we are. We will be starting up Catalina. We're not base trade TFE, so we can't get our hoys out there.
I can quit the lobby and not
the lobby host.
Shut you guys down, right? Or just kick me.
Just kick you. I don't think I can kick you.
Yeah, remove from lobby.
Oh, there you go.
Did it.
I wanted to say kick.
Okay, go ahead.
Are we ready? We're
yep.
ready.
Just got to make sure that the nerds don't get scared in the rest of the tournament for just another round here, and then I should be able to kick back a little bit more. Have some of our title sponsor Goldfish isn't behind us anymore.
Not anymore. We're gonna be sponsored by water. Water. It keeps you going, and it matches the Heart of the Swarm box. I don't know why I bought the collector's edition, but it's a cool box, right? Anyway, the fluff is done, Sam. Well, maybe.
And now the game has begun.
We could begin. I like it. I like the rhyme. Anyway, we're hopping in. It's actually game number 2 of a best of 3 between these two players. The first one, the yellow Zerg, spawning in the bottom portion of Catalina. He is game time.
And spawning at the 132 position, our green Zerg, Crilmon.
So, Catalina is like the map of shenanigans and a half, really. Especially in ZVZ, it's real hard to get this natural ramp blocked off by just about anything. Well, really what you needed is you need creep down there. You need to be able to get a building or two down to actually SimCity this this natural ramp off. So like something like gas expandation.
How to talk?
I'm dying. Where's the title sponsor? Water. Gotta rehydrate. But anyway, it's like a Gasix expand here. Really risky because speedlings will pretty much always get into your base if your opponent decides to go for some sort of like 14 pool into speed or really anything into speedlings will get into your base before a Gasix expand can do anything useful aside from maybe queen blocking the ramp to the main and then getting a spine down or something. Crilmon going for a hatchery first as well as game time, so they're both going to be, I mean, they're both kind of playing risky, but they're both going to end up pretty much exactly the same place. And we'll see, you know, similar, okay, a little bit of a change here. Crilmon going for spawning pool first, and game time going for a gas just before he lays down his spawning pool. So game time probably going for that quite early speedling aggression. He'll probably get a big old flood of lings out in a couple of minutes and see if he can do some damage to his opponent. Not really an all-in, just a, you know what, let's see if my opponent's ready. If he's not, hey, I win. If he is ready, you know, you move on, you continue. And game time has seen, he's seen the gas timings, he's seen the pool timings, he feels really comfortable knowing what his opponent's doing, whereas Crilmon hasn't even found out where game time is yet.
Right,
so
always difficult, right, when you get that second scout.
Yeah,
somebody that gets the first.
Yeah, in ZVZ, it's only uncomfortable in that you can't see what your opponent's tech is, but at least you can, like, when you see an overlord coming in from a certain position, you know where your opponent is.
Right.
But at the same time, yeah, he doesn't know what his opponent is going for, so it's like there still could have been a 10-pool Bane coming in, and he'd be like, well, although probably would have been attacking right about at that time.
Yeah, so Kevin, that brings me to a good point that I think is really pivotal in the current Zerg meta. Pivotal. Is how good are burrowed Banelings in the current meta of ZVZ?
I just wish Banelings couldn't be burrowed anymore, because that way I wouldn't have to listen to you. I don't think burrowed Banelings really are useful at all in ZVZ. It's much better to just leave the random Banelings kind of around the map. Not necessarily burrowed, but like on the various movement paths and attack paths, the top of ramps and things like that, as Zerglings are skirting about the map, they're not going to see a Baneling just chilling out. You're not going to be expecting a Baneling just kind of in the middle of nowhere. I think some people call them the Cat's Baneling because it's Cat's always does it. He just litters random Banelings around the map. And they end up getting, 10 plus Zergling kills and stuff like that. And it's can make a really pivotal change in the game. Game time going for a quick layer. To me, I don't even, there's not a lot of gas behind this, so, I mean, what in the hell? I guess roaches with speed? I mean, but there's no evolution chambers. The Roach Warren maybe should have gone down a little bit earlier to get that roach speed started right as layer finishes. So I'm a little curious what game time is actually doing here. I feel dumb for not knowing what this really indicates, to be honest, because it's certainly not mutas, unless it's kind of delayed mutas, I guess. It very well could be a little bit delayed mutas with a lot of speedlings to kind of defend yourself while you're trying to get to that mutalist count. And then game time, on the other hand, getting an evolution chamber down. No Roach Horn for either player, so we're not going to get the great Roach smack of current meta ZVZ. But yeah, Aspire coming down for game time. Okay, just a little bit lower on gas, or rather not. I guess maybe not as greedy with the gas out of game time. Understanding that he needs to be able to make a lot of Zerglings and drone up properly if he's going for real fast Spire to make sure that you don't just die to some random push before Spire finishes. And then Crilmon going for... Again, it's a little weird that I guess, okay, it is timed up quite properly to start Roach Speed right about at the same time that the Lair and the Roach Run finish. So yeah, probably a +1 Roach attack coming out of Crilmon, but we'll see if GameTime is really ready for it and if he can properly defend it.
Sure.
It's definitely the scariest thing to encounter as you're trying to go into mutas is either that +1 Roach push or actually just like a bunch of mass 1/1 lings.
He still hasn't started speed though. Does that indicate to you that he's not really going to go all in on roaches?
I don't know.
Is it like a defensive? Maybe I'll need roaches. I mean, he made a few, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh, that's a big Baneling hit on Crilmon, and then that Baneling hit, removing all the Zerglings means Crilmon doesn't really have a way to know what GameTime is doing. He's trying to send in. Okay, now he sees mutas now.
That Sly Overseer.
Just now, and a lot of Spore Crawlers being made. We'll see. I mean, if these Zerglings get to clean up a Spore or two, probably not going to be quite enough. So, I mean, in this case, Crilmon will be safe. He won't die right away to just this Muta attack, but all the same, I mean, now he's in the position where he's kind of stuck on the back foot. He can't move out very well. He has to, I mean, get either Hydras or Infestors, neither of which he's really started right now. It's a little bit concerning. Because, I mean, you can move out with roaches and just try to, like, try to attack your opponent and say, you know what, I don't care, your mutas won't kill my roaches before I kill you. But as it is, Crilmon's just not really, he's continuing to drone, he's not going for that, like, all-in roach attack.
Right.
And he is going for the Infestation Pit, which I've been seeing a lot, I've been noticing a lot more. Maybe it's always been a thing, but maybe I've just been finally noticing it more, that a lot of players will kind of choose the Infestor style instead of roaches to effectively handle mutas, just because, or instead of Hydras, Infestors instead of Hydras, just because Hydras can be very, very weak to a lot of Banelings.
Right.
So, and sometimes you can get to the point where, I guess even if you have like an Infestor or two, and then Roach Hydra, and your opponent makes a lot of Banelings in response, a single fungal just wrecks Banelings really hard. So
you just got to land that one sick fungal.
Yep.
Spore's ridiculously good. Let me tell you. I don't see a lot of Zergs though drop spores between bases and things like that. Is that something that's becoming more common, and I haven't noticed it, or
it's I get usually like one, especially in spread out bases like here on Catalina. One kind of for the drone rally to, you got a lot of drones
kind of long
just ferrying down here. It's a very scary place to be, and you want to make sure you're protected.
But we are seeing GameTime stay on a really reasonable number of mutas, enough that he can do some damage, but he saw that huge Spore reaction, and so I really like that he kept it right around. I know you want to have at least 8, right? And as many to do what he's doing, as many as maybe 12 or something like that.
Yeah, usually this is just a muta opener into roaches, and that's just, you make maybe 8, 9 mutas.
So you gotta pick the Evo Chamber? Were you not worried about that? Really cool pick off.
Actually, I didn't really expect it to go down. That's a little bit surprising, and it did cancel an upgrade.
Yep. Canceled missile weapons.
Yep. Missile weapons? Missile attacks?
Missile attacks.
Whatever, it's fine. At least it's not Hunter-Seeker missiles, am I right?
Kevin, I think you're the only person that gets upset about that.
really angry about people saying Hunter-Seeker missiles.
It's a Seeker missile.
Oh, and we see a little bit of the power of the fungal growth, holding back a bit of the roaches at GameTime at the beginning of this fight. We'll see if it really makes a huge difference. GameTime Crilmon does have the defender's advantage and the burrow advantage. What up?
Oh,
they're not Banelings, but
no Overseers, burrowed roaches. How strong would you say they are?
In ZVZ, it can be really good, but it's super circumstantial, and it's a little bit of I guess like almost a risk. Really, it's only 100 gas. So that's only
Right.
4 roaches that you might be missing out on. But I mean, as we can see, like, well,
One cool thing, aside from that we did see is Crilmon immediately burrows his infestors too after dropping fungals, which is cool. Something for the boys and girls at home. It can be really easy to move your spellcasters into a fight, but if yours are burrowed and your opponent doesn't have overseers, then you're good to go.
Yeah, and now
the reinforce looks just too strong right now, though.
Yeah, and this was GameTime just got he got a 4th hatchery off of that Spire opening a lot faster. You got that expansion out a lot more quickly, and so it goes. We get what looks to be, I mean, kind of a
in the battle of roaches.
simple,
GameTime was able to make more.
Very much
so.
Oh, this is winter bracket round
At
2.
the end of the day, do you think that it was worth it for GameTime to pick off that evolution chamber? Do you think that it was necessary? Do you think the Mutas would have benefited him more? Because he traded all of his Mutas there for the Evo, which I thought was kind of cool, right? And it's as if he could see the bar. And he knew it was 14 seconds from being done when he killed it.
Yeah, I mean, well, and sometimes you can just kind of feel it because you're like, well, I saw his... It might not even be something that you keep in your head, but like, oh, I saw him have +1, at this time, so I know that about 3 to 4 minutes from now, +2 is definitely going to be done, or even less. And so you kind of know, like, okay, and you can see it upgrading, so you say, okay, definitely want to clean that up. I don't know if it was a huge difference, especially because in a lot of those fights, Crilmon wasn't even fully maxed out, and I am like horrible at my little overlay stuff. I'm just useless. No, but so like in a lot of those fights, Crilmon wasn't even. I don't know if he ever hit max supply at any point. He may. I'm not even sure, but yeah, it really is just that 4th sort of extra mining base, but also just like macro hatchery out of GameTime, and allowing him to transfer drones to it to make sure he keeps on maximum roach production.
Right, exactly. Well, and I mean, if you're the aggressor in a game like that, we saw the situation, right, where Crilmon was in that awkward place of he couldn't really safely ever move out. So there's no reason not to take your macro hatch.
Actually, about sacrificing those mutas, I mean, 8 mutas doesn't do anything like in a roach v roach fight, but 8 more roaches does a whole lot. So sacrificing those and then getting a pick off, I'm quite alright with it, because shortly afterward, GameTime was maxed out right away.
Right, yeah, exactly. That's true.
So what do we have?
So our
for
next match that we'll probably go to is the winner of Match U against Otsego Flesh. Actually, I think that they have just started, so we might want to move to something next. Let's go ahead and take a short break. We haven't taken a break yet.
That's true.
In our performance here, it'll give Kevin a moment to just like breathe and be like, I don't have to
life.
talk. Kevin talks more during the Midwest Cup than he does for the rest of the year.
This is my quota for like the 2-month period of words that I can actually produce.
Then he takes a break for a while.
Yeah, and then I don't talk for. There's a like sect of monks, right, that don't talk or something.
That's right.
I should join that.